Welcome back to the Delaware Way. We talked about school safety, many other things going on down in Dover, many things that Senator Bryan Townsend has his name on. And we continue our conversation now. My wife and I went through fertility treatments, and it's expensive.
Unbelievably
extremely expensive and very emotional for people that go through it. And the population of people that are going through fertility treatments is rising. And you have a bill to give them some relief.
Yes, there's a bill that would mandate for large employers they have to offer sufficient fertility care. Some employers do already, but many of them offer a very low cap. It's so easy to hit that ceiling, hit that cap with the medication treatments and the different treatments and processes. And so what has happened is people, you said financially it's very expensive. They take out loans to try to start a family. Emotionally it's very difficult. It's not always successful. And then you might reach a point where you actually do multiple transfers of embryos to try and have one successful embryo, and then you might end up having 2 or 3 children that you weren't necessarily planning for. And those costs are enormous on the system. So this really is meant to be a bill that again, for large employers, because it's hard for small employers. Our healthcare system isn't set up to mandate a lot of things for small employers. There's a religious exemption, and then for self-insured companies or individuals, this doesn't apply. So it's large employers, and it's the marketplace, people who get their insurance in the marketplace. It's meant to have a much more medically sound, financially optimal framework for people to get fertility care.
Why are you doing this? Is there a personal connection? Or
The bill came to me through a couple of friends initially, but I couldn't believe the response, Larry. Once I filed it, the number of people who came up to me, approached me in Legislative Hall, lobbyists, cabinet staff, and on the governor's staff, the number of people who clearly are going through fertility care of one sort or another, it was unbelievable.
Because you think about being a senator or being in the legislature somewhere, and you think about the big issues, because that's what you're hit with all of the time. Right. This isn't one of those issues, and yet it's a way for you to help people directly.
It's been the number of emails I've gotten, because my wife and I were actually expecting the time I introduced the legislation. We ended up having baby Logan in June of 2017. The legislation that we filed in June or May of 2017. The number of emails I've gotten since then of people sharing their stories, sharing photos of their children that they're able to have through fertility treatment. It's just so emotional, so inspiring, so rewarding. People have shared their frustrating stories and the fact that they're still trying. So it's been a very up and down experience, but it means so much to people. I think the numbers are 1 in 8 couples go through some form of fertility treatment, but it seems to me, quite honestly, the numbers personally higher given the number of people that have approached me about this. Also, a real quick point too that I didn't learn through this process. The bill covers not only fertility care for people who are diagnosed with a medical infertility, which can mean a number of things. The bill also covers storage and preservation of sperm or eggs for people who, for example, are diagnosed with cancer. Because sometimes chemotherapy, actually I think often chemotherapy renders someone infertile. And so this bill then provides insurance coverage for people. So to know that there's insurance coverage is very, very important. So that was a key piece of this legislation as well. Other states have passed that last part in more recent years. Many years ago, some states had passed the fertility coverage part of it too. So Delaware's been behind the game. It's an issue of economic competitiveness. We lose young people to other states, including New Jersey and Maryland, that do have these mandates in place. So fertility is a medical issue, but for some reason, it's just sort of escaped the health insurance market in a lot of ways. This bill seeks to correct it. We can't mandate small employers, but we're hoping that by mandating large employers, the overall market does change to acknowledge this as something that's worthy of coverage. And we hope ultimately state employees are able to have this benefit.
We're running out of time, and I want to get to something else that directly affects people's lives, and that is a relief on student loans for people who choose education as a profession.
Yes, I mean, number one, we don't pay teachers anywhere near enough. It's just the data shows that we should be paying teachers about $60,000 a year starting in order to recruit and retain the best talent in education. No, right now, proposal in Delaware in the foreseeable future is going to get us to that place. So we're trying to do different things to reward educators for their hard work, including those who are focusing on subject areas where we need more people focusing on. So if they're in a high need subject area or a school that has a lot of turnover and a lot of challenging students, we want to be able to give them a variety of supports. And this bill, like the governor called for in a State of the State speech, would provide student loan relief of $1,000 to $2,000 per educator who apply and meet certain criteria based on available funding.
I think a lot of people would think that was a great idea, but it should be expanded. People that go into nonprofits are also doing some great things to community service. Even people that go in and on your staff want to go into public service should also be able to get some relief from student loans, because they're not going after the big money. And the student loan, I'm sure that's such an onerous weight on them financially.
Sure, and people on my staff have to put up with me, so they deserve additional support. So all
Great
kinds
point.
of I think the issue. You're right, but I think that fundamentally educators are the key to our future, and students are the key to our future. So you're right, there are a lot of people doing a lot of great work, and I wish as a society we acknowledge that more. I wish that we did a variety of things differently to truly support each other in the way that's going to lead to more community safety, more economic prosperity. Educators are the key to that. So yes, we should do more to support a variety of people. We're not even supporting the key, and so this is an effort to try to do more of that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Larry. Always a pleasure.
Thank you for coming in. I know you're going down to Dover right now. Senator Bryan Townsend, who represents South Newark. When we come back, you've heard about the Trump tariffs on steel and aluminum. We'll talk about how that affects Delaware when the Delaware Way continues.